Hey guys, can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? And I know you guys can see me. But can everybody hear me? Man, there's so much smudge on my camera. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Okay, so, well, let's move the baby oil out of the way. Okay, so you guys actually are not going to be seeing me that much. Most of what you guys are going to be seeing tonight is actually going to be a slide presentation, but I wanted to show you guys my face. Hello, hi. I will keep the video on in the lower right-hand corner. If you guys saw me on what day was that? On Monday, when I did the webinar, I did not keep the little video of me in the bottom right-hand corner because I basically looked like a Yeti. So today, I'm actually going to let you guys see me since I look somewhat presentable. So let me go ahead and just pull up, and I'm just going to wait. I've been waiting a couple minutes, trying to let people filter in here. But I'm going to pull up my presentation for you guys. Boom. Okay, so if you can see me down here in the corner, and you can also see the slide, can you guys just let me know? I want to make sure we went through a lot of crazy technology issues on Monday, and I'm hoping that this time is a lot less hectic. And actually, so far, it has already been a lot less hectic than Monday was. So this is going to be how to generate qualified leads with Instagram, which is a really important conversation to be having, especially if you are a service-based business. So for you guys that are in service-based business, like this is the cornerstone of how you make your money, right? You have to have ongoing clients. You have to have people in group coaching programs. You have to have phone consultations. Like this is how you keep clients. So I wanted to do something that was geared specifically for you guys. I am a service-based business myself. My side hustle that I started that developed into what I do now, but my side hustle was copywriting, which is why I am the Spoiled Writer. And I started that 8 years ago, and that was a service-based business. So I have always been in business for myself as a service-based business. I do work with a lot of product-based businesses as well. It's just not the focus of my content. And actually, ironically, most of the work that I've done as an employee was in product-based business, as in, you know, managerial positions and building Shopify websites and managing all that stuff on the back end. That was actually all product-based business. So I've got a good balance of both, but my heart is with you guys that are in service-based, because service-based businesses tend to be a lot more emotionally geared or emotionally targeted, if that makes any sense. So a lot of what you do is like, I want to change the world, or I want to improve people's lifestyle. And the way I can do that is providing them this service that is going to help them, whether it's life coaching, business coaching, accounting. I mean, it could be as easy as you own a lawn service. That's a service-based business. That's making someone's life easier, to not have to worry about their yard. And so it's more motivated emotionally to really increase the type of life that we live. And so that's why I really identify with you guys. So I'm going to take a big swig of water before I get started talking, because I have a lot of information to cover, and I want to make sure I give you guys all of these gems. I am on this health kick where you're supposed to be drinking a gallon of water a day. And you see down here, this is my Beyonce. I am only halfway, which is very sad. That's so sad. You guys are probably like, well, I don't drink that much water anyway, so I'm not judging you. Thank you for not judging me. So before we get started, nope, I lied. We can go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is going to be how to generate qualified leads with Instagram. If you don't already have pen and a paper, you might want to grab that now and or take notes on your phone. Let me turn my phone on vibrate, by the way. Here we go. All right, so just how many clients are there on Instagram? There are a lot of clients on Instagram, you guys, a lot. Exactly 500 million daily users. There's actually about 800 or 900 million people that have an Instagram page, but 500 of those are actually daily users, people that go on every single day, people that are actually scrolling, liking, following, unfollowing, etc., things like that. So there's a lot of people on Instagram, and a lot of those people are your clients. For some reason, there's like this misnomer that you can't have clients on Instagram if you're an accountant or if you're a lawyer, or anything of the like. And honestly, it's just not true. With 500 million people on Instagram, even if you say, okay, only 1% of that is my client, that's still a lot of clients. More clients than you can handle, more clients than I can handle. I am willing to share the overbooked clients as they're overflowing, but a lot of those users are your clients. So Instagram's definitely a platform worth investing time in if you are service-based. Okay, so another misnomer that people talk about is the income. They're like, oh, people are on Instagram don't make that much money. Why? Oh, because they have time to sit around and scroll on Instagram. Not true. There's actually a pretty even distribution of people, of users in different income brackets, as you can see. And I did pull these statistics from an actual study. I'm not just making these numbers up, okay? So 32% of those bring in $30,000 to $49,000 per year. 32% bring in $50,000 to $74,000 per year, and 31% bring in over $75,000 per year. So it's not so much that people are Instagram users are not Instagram users because of how much money they make and how much time they have. It's more about what their interests are. So you can have somebody that makes $30,000 a year have similar interests to somebody that makes over $75,000 per year. And where can they both gain that information or that content? Instagram. So your clients, no matter where they fall in that income bracket, they're still going to be on Instagram. Now, the times of day may differ. You know, someone who's making over $75,000 per year, they may have a really, really nice 9 to 5. And so they're only able to be on their phones, respectively, or be on Instagram either before 9 a.m. or after 5 p.m. So that may affect their posting time. But as far as them being present, they're definitely there. Okay, I had to put this in there because there's a lot of people. I just told you how many people are on Instagram, but there's also a lot of businesses on Instagram, but I promise you it's not as saturated as you feel. So only 25 million of those profiles on Instagram are business profiles. 25 million sounds like a lot, but it's not in comparison to 500. So only 25 out of 500 are actual business profiles. If somebody is on Instagram and they're using it not as a business profile, they're most likely not actually trying to conduct some type of serious level of business on Instagram. And so they're no longer a threat to you at all, honestly. So there's only 25 million business profiles. Don't feel like, you know, I decided I was going to start this accounting service and there's a million accountants, so I'm never going to make any money on Instagram. That's not true. Okay. Everybody has their own ideal client. Everybody has their own way of doing business. And that differs on where you get your clients from, how long they stay with you, what products they buy from you. Some people are client hoppers. They'll buy from you some accounting products from you. They'll go buy some accounting products from Joe. They'll go buy some accounting products from Sally. That's just how it works. But don't feel like you're not going to get sales based off the amount of people that are in your market. It doesn't really work that way. 80% of users follow a business on Instagram. So not only are those 500 million people there, 80% of them are there following businesses that they would like to patronize, are interested in, or are already fans of. So people are definitely using Instagram for business. It's not like Snapchat, which is completely like, I don't even know why people try to use that for business, but I guess it has some uses, but it's not like one of the other platforms that are a little bit more fickle. It's definitely a place people go to find services and find things that they need that they know someone else has. Okay, so Instagram users are 70% more likely to make mobile purchases. This one hits really home, like hard home for me, because a lot of my sales are mobile purchases. So the great thing about people being able to purchase on their phone is that it happens quick. It happens very quick. If your systems are set up correctly, and if you have like those small little popcorn products that are like $9, $15, $30, I would say 50 is like tinkering on the line. But I've had a lot of people buy a $50 product off of their phone, which is insane to me. But Instagram users are 70% more likely to make mobile purchases, and that is from data. And I can look at my data and honestly say, man, if your systems are set up right, if your Instagram page looks attractive and you've got the link in your bio and it goes to this page, it's very easy to read. People are going to click that buy button and buy a $50 product off of their phone. And it still sounds crazy to me. And those higher priced products like the $99, the $150, the $197, those, they are still being bought off of the phone, just not as frequently, because people are still getting used to the fact that, hey, my phone can save my card information. People are still getting used to that. But for that reason, it kind of makes it easier for you to use a platform like Instagram to sell, especially now that the profile can be shoppable. I don't know if you guys have seen that, where the profile is actually shoppable. So you can tap the Instagram post and it takes you automatically to a web page, and all you have to do is scroll to the bottom, click the buy button, put in your card information. And if it's already saved, you're literally 2 clicks away from making a purchase. A little scary for us on the buyer's end, right? Because we don't want to spend a bunch of money, but it's really good for us as businesses. Okay, so driving traffic is the best way to maximize your efforts. You need to ask yourself these 4 questions. 1, are you using CTAs? CTAs is short for call to actions. So at the end of your post, are you saying, hey, visit my website, click the link in my bio, sign up for a consultation? You have to actually be direct. And don't feel weird about it. People need to be told what to do. They get on your page, they look at your content, they're like, oh, I like this content. Oh, here's a video of her or him, talking about their product and how long they've been doing their job and yada, yada, yada. Okay, now what? If there's no call to action at the end of that post, then you're not directing your audience towards where you want them to go. And you have to have, you may have it in mind, I want more website traffic. Okay, but if the end of your post doesn't say, click to see the rest of this blog article on my website, or click over to my website to get the full scoop on this story, or visit my website to see more details about this product or this service or this package, I mean, then what are you really expecting? It's like you can't expect something that you didn't ask for, right? If you want a GET, you got an ASK. That's what my mom used to say. Do you have a system in place to collect information? This is a huge one. This is big, okay? There's a lot of people that don't have email lists set up, that don't have a way to easily join that email list, even if it's set up. There's no freebie there. It's like showing up to a networking event with no business cards. You would never do that. You would never do that. It's the same thing with Instagram. It's great that you've shown up. It's great that you're showing up on Instagram, but you have no business cards. You have no Rolodex. You have no plan on either collecting people's information or Following up with people, it's just as bad. The following up is just as bad. Okay. So you have to make sure you have a system in place to collect information. And so what that looks like is either a link in your bio for someone to download a freebie and they go into your email list automatically, and or you have some type of a very low cost product that's like a no-brainer purchase. And this is like, and I don't want to confuse you guys with saying the low purchase product, because a lot of people think, oh, I'll collect their information once they buy. But if you've got 100 visitors, right? If you've got 100, let's say you have 100 people click the link in your bio. 100 people click the link in your bio, only 2 of them buy. The other 98 may not have bought, but they may be willing to join your email list, and they may be willing to buy, let's say, on payday. You know, they may not be willing to buy today because it's Wednesday. They may have to wait until Friday. They may need to put it in their budget and wait until next month. But if there's no way for them to continually receive communication from you on your terms, right? Because Instagram only shows 10% of your posts to your followers. So there needs to be a way that you can communicate with your potential clients on your terms. So you can send an email out. You can control that. Who joins and who unsubscribes from your list. You can control that based off the content you provide. So those 98 people may be customers. They may just not be customers today, but they're just as worthy to be a client if they become a client tomorrow, or if they become a client on Friday, or if they become a client on Sunday. They're just as worthy, right? And our goal here is to be booked out. Is to get more clients, whether it happens today or tomorrow or Saturday. That's our goal. Okay. Is there a strategy behind your content? Is there a strategy behind it? Are you just randomly posting? Like, okay, I know I have to post stuff about money. I'm an accountant. Money speaks to people. I just have 60 posts this month scheduled, ready to go, that are about money, and that's it. Okay. There's got to be some strategy to it. Are you releasing, maybe you're releasing a group coaching product and you want people to get excited for that group coaching product. Maybe you're an accountant, but maybe that group coaching product is about eradicating debt. So all of your your whole monthly theme should be about getting rid of debt. So every day you're talking about, this is how you need to get started. These are some great tools you can use. Here are some apps to help you. Here's some ways to generate extra income if you need to pay back your student loans faster. And then boom, here's a group coaching program. So people that have been following your page, that are liking things that you have been posting, that have seen your face on Instagram Live, and they're like, oh man, this person's awesome. They really know what they're talking about, eradicating debt. And then they see, boom, oh, she's got a coaching program? I'm in. I'm down. I know she knows what she's talking about when it comes to debt. And it makes sense because I've been reading all this stuff about debt, and now she's got this great, awesome product about debt. So there's got to be some strategy to it. And then last but not least, are you present? Are you present? That's like the basis of the entire platform. You have to be posting. You have to be posting. You have to be posting. I say twice per day. Twice per day is a good place to start. If you can't do the post manually, schedule them out. You can use Planoly.com. I'll type that into the chat box so you guys can write it down, because it sounds weird when I say it. Planoly. Planoly.com. That will allow you to schedule and have your content released automatically. Okay. If you saw this question number 2 that says, do you have a system in place to collect information? And you do not, I am going to put up an offer right now in the right hand corner that you need to take a look at. Okay. If you do not have an email list set up, there's an offer. Okay. It's an email list set up, complete from scratch. It includes a landing page where I design it to match your brand. You can put the link in your bio. So that's for you guys that don't have that. And I have something a little bit later on for the rest of you guys as well. Okay, so cohesive profiles are built around 4 attributes. I have a lot of people come to my profile and they're like, oh my gosh, it looks so cohesive and well put together. How did you get it to look like this? This is how I got it to look like this, okay? Number 1, how often and when posting happens. I know that I'm going to post at least twice a day. I know that first post is coming out at 8 a.m. and I know my last post is going out at 10 p.m. Why? Because I use Planoly, and that's why I put it in the little bar right there. They are not paying me to advertise for them. I spend my own money every month paying for the service. By the way, it's only $9 a month. Best $9 I spend every single month, hands down. But it allows me to know exactly how often and when I'm posting. I literally had someone the other day drop a comment on my post and say, this must be on auto schedule because these posts come out like clockwork. Yes, honey, these posts come out at the same time every day. Of course, I do post in between because I have this obsessive thing where I like to be in control of my Instagram page. And so when I get an idea, I do go ahead and just post it to get it off of my brain. It lowers my stress levels, but also Planoly helps me be present. Like there are some days where like I'm sick. Like I was sick this past weekend and I could not be physically present because it was too draining for me. But guess what? The show still goes on. The world is still turning. Things are still happening with whether or not you're sick or not. And Planoly allowed me to be present for my consumers because it was posting automatically for me. So it was like I never left. Okay, number 2, your overall monthly theme. So you need to have some type of theme. Yes, you may be an accountant, but what is your theme? Is it going to be debt? Is it going to be increasing your credit score? Is it going to be budget planning? You need to give yourself an overall monthly theme. If you want to go through, because sometimes it's easiest if you sit down with a calendar, like it's May. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December. All you need is 7 themes. That right there is going to save you so much time to say, okay, my theme this month is going to be growing your email list. And so all of my posts are going to be about that. I'll release a new digital product that's about that. And I'll stay inside that little box. If anybody wants any services outside of that, of course you can still offer them. But that is just for you so that you can focus on one thing at a time. Because if you try to spread your focus and your energy, your marketing is going to fail. Like that's how marketing works. It has to be laser focused for the best results. So choose an overall monthly theme. It'll make not only your visuals be more cohesive, but it'll make your content be more cohesive. So then when you release products, it makes sense. For you guys that are in here, that have a service that's ready to go. Like if you have a service that you know exactly what you want to include, you have a price on it already, maybe you've started writing a sales page. If you already have a service that you have ready to go, that you want to sell or that you're already selling or that's available for purchase that's not selling that much. If you've got any of that stuff, service, ready to go, packaged, you need to start your monthly theme around that service. You can work backwards, right? So okay, in game, I want them to buy this group coaching service. So my monthly theme needs to revolve around this service so that I can sell more of it. That's how you sell more of it. Some people are under the impression that like, if you have a service that's not, and I'm going a little bit off of the slide right now, but if you have a service that is not selling a lot, it's not necessarily that you need to create more services. It may be that you need to just focus more in on promoting that one service and then it'll sell. Because if you release a product and you haven't marketed it correctly, no matter how good it is, people are not going to buy it because they don't know it exists. So it's not always your product and how your offering is set up. Sometimes it's actually the way that you're selling it per se. Okay. Number 3, your visual style guidelines. So these are important for you to have. If you have brand colors, stick to your brand colors. If you have, fonts that you use, stick to those fonts. If you've got specific brand colors, stick to your specific brand colors. Look at my slides, y'all. All of my slides match, right? All of these slides match my brand colors. And ironically, these slides look like my Instagram, don't they? Yep, because I use the same colors for everything. Because it makes life easier and it makes things look more cohesive. Anytime you see me post examples of work that I've done for clients, everything has the same color scheme. It just makes things look a lot more put together. And when things are well put together, clients are like, ooh, I want that. It looks organized. It looks nice and neat. It matches. It's a visual thing as well as an emotional thing that attracts people to purchase. Okay. So set out your visual style guidelines. So I say choose a font that you're going to use 2 or 3 fonts. And Canva will allow you to do this. If you use Canva, I make all my graphics in Canva. Canva will allow you to do that. Also, so what did I say? Font choices, your color choices, and that's really it. Like, you see how this post is, how this template is flat? It's just 2 colors is flat. Now, if I were to post an image, so you're thinking, Kelly, how do you keep your images? I choose images that contain mostly that color. So if my colors are pink, blue, and yellow, I am only going to use text-based posts that are pink, blue, and yellow. And then for images, the image needs to be at least 50% pink, blue, or yellow. Okay, it can have other colors in it. The image can have other colors in it, but most of the image needs to be blue or yellow or pink, and that's what keeps it cohesive. All right, number 4, fourth attribute to keep your profile cohesive, how and when your business interacts with other profiles. Okay, so this is why it's so important to keep your personal profile separate from your business profile, because your personal profile, you're probably following friends, family, maybe like childhood heroes, famous people that you want to be nosy in their life about, which is totally fine, because I do the same thing. Like, I follow Kim Kardashian because I'm nosy. I want to see what she has going on. Okay, so that's fine for your personal, but your business profile, you should not be following anybody on your business profile that is not contributing to the productivity of your business. Okay, so if you have a business profile and you're following celebrities and friends and family, then when you get to scrolling and you're looking for people to follow and you're unfollowing and all that other stuff, you've got all these people mixed in that don't even know your business exists or don't even care about what product you're selling. It just makes it confusing. Quite honestly, it just starts to become confusing. So your business profile should be used only for following your ideal clients and attracting your ideal clients and having them follow you back, etc. So just keep that in mind. It keeps the numbers a lot easier, especially when you start looking at conversion. Like, if you take a personal profile and you're like, I have 3,000 followers, I'm going to turn this into my business profile. And then you're like, well, I have 3,000 followers, but only one person is buying, because really only one of those people is an actual client. The other 3,000 were people that you met earlier on in your life that may or may not even care about what you have going on. So keep it together on your business profile, and how and when your business interacts with other profiles. All right, so let's get into the actual how-to steps. Like, these are things that can be done, that need to be done this week for you to start generating your leads from Instagram, your qualified leads, right? Because not everybody is a qualified lead. That's why you have 1,000 followers, but only 5 of them are buying. Those 5 are qualified. The goal is to get that number to be a little bit higher so that you can stay booked out as a service-based business. Okay, so number 1, decide who your ideal client is. I released a video on my Instagram profile not too long ago that said people are going to all these networking events and they could be in a room full of people that are their ideal client. But if you don't know what your ideal client looks like, you're not going to make any money. So you need to know who you're looking for. You can start by thinking to yourself, which of your past clients were your favorite? So if you've already had clients in the past, just think about, okay, I really liked working with Sarah because she was just really open to learning and she was just awesome. Okay, so now you got to think, why was she, what type of client was Sarah? Oh, well, she's probably open because she's a little bit younger. So maybe your ideal client is someone who's a little bit younger because they're more open. Or maybe you liked working with, maybe Sarah was the owner of a nonprofit and you really liked working with her because it's harder to do accounting for nonprofits because everything has to balance out at zero. And so maybe you need to think, okay, well, my ideal clients might be Sarah's. There's more Sarah's out there. You know what I mean? Maybe my ideal clients are people that own nonprofits that are millennials. And so then you start thinking, oh, okay, now let me start crafting my content to attract millennials that own nonprofits. So you see how that works? You go from ideal client to actually strategizing what you're putting on your page. The second thing, what type of person needs what you have to offer? Okay, we all have a needs column and we all have a wants column. Every time we get money in our pocket, we've got a needs and we've got a wants column. You want to attract people that put you in the needs column. There are people that want an accountant just to have one because it's nice. They know how to manage their money, but they would like to have an accountant because it's easier. And there's people who are swimming in debt and need an accountant. You want to gear your content towards people that need what you have so that it's not an option of whether they need to buy what you have or not when you offer them something. When you offer somebody something, you want them to automatically, no brainer, say, I gotta have that. I need that. Like it's not an option. Those are the clients that you want. Okay. Now, what type of person needs what you have to offer? Needs, not wants. You're gonna attract both. Don't feel like you're cutting people off. You're going to attract both, but just think about the needs. Start with one focus and eventually your consumer base will grow. Okay. So a lot of people have an issue with this when they come to like gender and age and income level. And they're like, oh man, well, everybody can use what I have. Everybody can use, an accountant. Everyone can benefit from this. Yeah, everyone can benefit from this, but you can't serve everyone. You would be stressed out. So pick somebody. If it's housewives in between 30 to 45, then that's your ideal client. Are you still going to be able to work with males? Yes. Are you still going to be able to work with people that are younger than 35? Yes. If they come to you, if they see your content and they come to you and they want to work with you, you don't have to say no. You can say yes if you want to say yes, but it makes your life a whole lot easier and it makes you come off as more of an expert if you are laser focused in on one group. Okay. Number 2, what does your ideal client think they need, right? So we just talked about the needs and the wants, and that's why I kept saying needs so much, like needs. What do they think they need? Because people really don't know what they need, okay? You have to create content based off of their interest as it aligns with your brand. So if your client thinks they need to get rid of their debt, then you need to create that content based off of getting rid of their debt. Yes, you're an accountant. Yes, you offer other services, but you have to go where the need is. If you ideally would like to work with people who are more interested in maybe improving their credit, you can do so. But you may need to start with getting rid of the debt because that's where the people are. So help them get rid of the debt. And once they fall in love with you and they want to be your client for life, then you can move on to maybe the things that you're a little bit more interested in. But you have to start with what people think they need. All right. Don't overthink your captions or posts, y'all. It is just Instagram. Capitalize on the strengths and be ready when potential leads come. Okay. This is a big one. And I don't really even know if this fits into this slide. But when I was creating this, I was like, this has to go on here right now. Do not overthink your captions or your posts. When I say it's just Instagram, it is a very, very powerful platform for driving traffic. Very powerful. But people do not look at posts for longer than 10 seconds. So don't spend 30 minutes writing captions. Don't spend hours and hours and hours looking for the perfect picture. It doesn't really exist. Okay. Capitalize on the strengths, which is the power that it has to drive traffic, and be ready when potential leads come. That's why you need a system, because you need to capture as many leads as you possibly can in order for you to warm those leads up to become potential clients. But don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. People do that all the time. I'll create post packages and people will be like, well, this is really simple. Yeah, it's not. Don't overthink it. It's Instagram. It's not rocket science. Okay. It doesn't need to be complicated. People look at my page and like, how does your page look like that? It's simple. I keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS, KISS. Have y'all ever heard that? Keep it simple. Yeah, I keep it simple. The basic guidelines for my page, it's got to be pink, blue, or yellow and have to do with marketing, branding, or sales. That's it. It's basic, but it comes off nice. It comes off vibrant because it's not too much for people to try to internalize in 10 seconds. So keep that in mind. People will attract to what they think they need because most often people really don't know what they need. Is that making sense? People may think they need to get rid of their debt when really they need a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay. People may think they need to work on themselves so that they can get into a relationship. Really, they need a whole life coach. They need a whole life audit. You know what I mean? And some of you guys are probably struggling with this right now. You're like, I'm trying to give them what they need, but they won't take it because people really don't know what they need. And it's not just consumers, it's us as well as business owners. Sometimes we don't know what we need. We're like, oh my gosh, I'm super stressed out. Let me, take a day off. That's not what you need. What you need is automatic systems in place to run while you're sleeping so that you're not as stressed while you're working. And then you can take a day off as well because you've got system in place to run while you're not there. So we really don't know what we need as people. And so you have to figure out and really get into the head. And this is where you having a specific ideal client really comes into play. Like if you are saying, oh, this service is great for everybody. And now you're having to think, okay, how do I attract everybody? It's hard to attract everybody. Not everybody's the same. Versus if you say, okay, my ideal client is those housewives between the ages of 34 and 50. Okay, what types of things do they think they need? Maybe they think they need a maid. Maybe they think they need a babysitter. Okay, so start there and get in on that side. Number 3, write down your client process. Well, people skip this all the time. I have no idea why, but it's very important. You need to map out exactly how your client process flows from initial contact to paying customer. So here's my example. Someone visits my Instagram, then they click the link on my bio. They join my email list to receive a freebie. That automatically sends them into a welcome sequence, and then eventually they purchase my signature low-cost product, which is where that sequence ends up. That is my client process flow. So now I can think, okay, so how do I make more money? I need to get more people to visit my Instagram. I need to get more people to click the link in my bio. I need to release freebies. That's how I can beef up the pieces inside of that sequence to get more people to my signature low-cost product. Here's another example. Watches Instagram Live. They watch that, they sign up for a consultation. They receive a follow-up email sequence after their consult, and then they purchase a product because now they know me, right? They've seen me on Instagram Live. They've talked to me on the phone. They've read my emails. They're ready to purchase at that point. If they're still answering your emails after they've watched you on live and talked to you on the phone, they're likely to purchase. And so I know this because I have this client process written down. Now, if you've already had clients before, you can write down the process that you've used in the past and just refine it. Maybe you want there to be less steps there. Maybe you want it to be sign up for a consult, purchases package, coaching package. Maybe you want it to be that. It can totally be that. But you have to sit down and think that process out. If you have never had clients before, this is your chance to take control of your business. How do you want people to get to the purchase? It's not just, oh, I just want them to buy. Okay, but where are they coming from? Do you want them to buy after being on your website? Do you want them to buy after seeing you on social media? Do you want them to buy after they meet you in person? And then you have to create your client process in that way. So let's say, for example, you're camera shy, you don't like Instagram Live. This is how you take control of your client process, okay? I know I want them to buy. In order for them to buy, they're going to have to see my website. In order for them to see my website, they're going to have my business card. In order for them to have my business card, they're going to have to meet me in person. So now what does that look like? Okay, meets a potential client in person, gives them your business card with an incentive to visit the website. Once they visit the website, they can schedule a client consultation at the bottom of every blog post. That's how you get more clients. So now you know, okay, I need to go to more in-person events, because the more in-person events I go to, the more clients I'm going to get, and then I don't have to get on live and be camera shy and awkward. You don't have to get on live. There are other ways to get clients. It's easier. It's more cost effective. You don't have to drive anywhere. You don't have to get a new outfit. You don't really have to do a lot of prep. maybe 30, 45 minutes of prep. But if you're camera shy, that seems like a lot to you. So you should go a different route. So play up on your strengths and write down your actual client process. All right, when you construct the client process, it's easier for customers to work with you. And you can make this transparent if you want to. And I just started including this in my email sequence. When you purchase something from me, I send you a follow-up email that has your next steps. So they purchase something and they say, hey, this is what your next steps are going to look like. You're going to get this. You're going to get this from this email. You're going to get this. And in the meantime, while I'm working on your service, here's a couple of things for you to look at. It's like a freaking a la carte service. Like you're coming to a restaurant and I'm putting the napkin in your lap and giving you nice silverware. And while I'm making your food, I'm giving you an appetizer. Like it's a whole experience that you're creating when you have that client process in place and you actually know what it looks like. And when it's easier for people to work with you, they're more likely to refer you. And referrals can be a cash cow in itself. Focus is key. What is your end game? What's your end game? I kind of touched on this in the other slides, but you need to know where you want people to end up. If your goal is you want people to be in a group coaching program, then you've got to plan out your Instagram to match up with you wanting people to register for that group coaching program. If you want people to do one-on-ones with you, then you have to plan out your Instagram strategy content to focus on what they get when they get a one-on-one, what types of results they can expect when they get a one-on-one with you. Okay, I made this little analogy for you guys because business is about relationships, right? So Instagram is the first date. That's usually where people see you first. Your website is the second date, which is why it's important to have some type of a link in your bio or a link tree in your bio. Email is the third date, right? That's when they start getting emails from you. They start really getting to know you. They get a deeper view of your business. That's how it works, right? So if your first date is bad, like if your Instagram page is all over the place, you just have no idea what type of content you want to offer, and the colors are all crazy, that's a bad first date. It's a bad first impression. And that's why it needs to be really cohesive. And that is why I even touched on it about, you getting leads from Instagram that are actually qualified. You have to let people know what to expect. And Instagram is usually that first contact that people have with you. Your website is the second date because they click the link in their bio and they go over to your website and they want to see what else you have to offer, whether they're ready to purchase based off of what you posted on Instagram, or maybe they just want to read more, blog posts from you. They want to see more of your face. Your website is going to be your second date. And your goal ultimately is to get them into the email list because that's where they really, really warm up. That's where they really warm up. There used to be like cold calling. It's dead. Okay, now there's email lists. Email is a continual relationship building action that happens. When somebody gives you their email, they're giving you a personal piece of information. That's a big deal. So that is you really building a relationship and getting to know that person and them feeling more comfortable with working for you. Your email sequence is just as important as your Instagram. So if you've got a really great first date, your website looks good, that's your second date, and then you have no email list, it's like you went ghost on them. Like they had a great first date, a great second date, and then they're just like, well, she never called me back. He never called me back, whatever it may be. So that's how it is when you don't have an email list system set up. So how do you convert? Present your ideal clients with an offer they can't refuse. This is not always a freebie. Focus on value more than price. People like to say, offer something free, offer something free. It's great for building your email list. It's great, but it doesn't convert. It's not considered a conversion until you have money in your hand. Until you have money in your bank account and you're getting deposits, it's not a conversion. They're just joining your email list, which is good, but eventually you want them to convert. So you have to think, okay, I know who my ideal client is. I pulled them into my email list with this great information. They see me every day or every week on Instagram. They see my face. By the way, you have to show your face. If it's not live video, it needs to be either pre-recorded or it needs to be a picture. A picture is just as good, but people need to see your face. When you're a service provider, that's like super important. Okay. But now that you know your ideal clients, you know exactly what they're interested in, you know what they think they need. Now you can present them with an offer that they just cannot refuse. And that's not always something free. Sometimes maybe it's $9.99, maybe it's $20, but it's something that they're like, I can't not take this. Like, I'm definitely willing to let go of this $20 bill for this product. And when you have followers, you know, when you really take time to build your followers and you've got 2,000 or 3,000 followers, or even if you have 500 followers, but you've really taken the time to get to know that audience, 100 people saying I can let go of a $20 bill is $2,000 really quick. It adds up. So just think about it. You guys, it's not the size of your audience, it's the quality of your audience. There are people with 300 followers making six figures. There are people with 15, 16,000 followers making $200 a month. It is the quality of your audience. If you are in here and you're health based, if you're health services, that kind of plays a factor. Like personal trainers, there's a lot of people that are personal trainers and they've got 10,000 followers, but 8,000 of them are males that just want to see how nice your body looks. You really only have 2,000 customers. Who cares at that point, you know? So it's more of the quality than the quantity. Instagram is a way to connect and lower the hesitations clients have about working with you. So you have to think, this is how you can craft your content. How will this change your client's business or life? You can show this with videos, with pictures, with text-based posts. You can show, how will this change your client's business or life? How can they take the first step with you? This is probably where you want to write notes, because this is going to automatically help you create content tonight, tomorrow, this weekend. Will this work for them? Is this product going to work for them? How long have you been doing this? Not necessarily how long have you been in business, but how long have you been developing the skill set that you're offering for a service as a price? As a service for a price. Why did you put your services together the way you did? If you've got 3 packages, you can talk about, oh, well, I created this package with this in it for this type of person, this package with this in it for this type of person. This package has a bonus if you are really, really needing this as an extra piece or whatever it may be. But that's 3 or 4 different posts right there that I just talked about. And it's all things that people want to know that are going to lower their hesitations. Number 5, why did you put your services? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just said that. What's the big picture that they need to see? What's the big picture? What are the results that they can expect? When you're thinking about it in a selling way, if you've ever been in sales, they say to get the no 3 times. You've got to come back the no 3 times. So if you ask somebody, hey, sir, do you want to buy this tie? And they say, no, I'm not looking for a tie. Then you have to have a comeback, and you got to have 3 of them. So maybe it's, are you sure I really think this tie really fits your style? No, I don't want a tie. Now, you do know that this actually has a lot of high value in it. It's made out of this type of fabric and, yada, yada, whatever it may be. But you've got to have some comeback. And that's in sales in person. But if you're doing it on Instagram, it's the same thing. It's just with posts. So if you're going to release a product and you haven't told people in an Instagram post, whether it's a picture or a video or a live or whatever, if you have recently released a product and you're like, this product is not selling, and you have not shared with people on Instagram how it's going to change their business or life, how they can take the first step to getting that product with you or even communicating with you, maybe it's a phone consult, how it's going to work for them, how long you have been providing those services that you're offering, why you put your package together the way you did, and what's the big picture they need to see. If you have not shared these 6 things, then you have not even began to market that service appropriately. So you know what? Don't even feel bad. Like if you released a service and you're like, this is a flop, it did not sell, but you didn't do those 6 things, don't even feel bad. Write down those 6 things and come back and reoffer that service. I guarantee you're going to have a purchaser, because you have to lower people's hesitations. It is still social media, you guys. There are still a lot of people out there that are taking people's money and not providing anything. That still happens. And so you have to do your best to be present and show your face. That's why I said you have to show your face. You have to do yourself to be present, do yourself the justice of being present and letting people know that you're real. All right, this is my last slide. Oh, sorry, y'all. This is it. I had to put this in there because I'm a numbers person, okay? I'm numbers motivated. So you have to do the math. So let's say you want to make, no, do not address all 6 things on one post. It should actually be either, and I'll go backwards, definitely not all in one post. And I say that because you have to keep in mind that we live in a popcorn generation, and people are not going to spend too long reading into a post. And so it's better for you and better for the reader if it's either 6 different posts, or you can do like each of those 6 questions can be in different formats. So it could actually be upwards of, these 6 questions could actually be upwards of 18 to 20 posts. And so what I mean, let me go in a little bit deeper. How will this change your client's business or life? You can do a live on how it can improve your life to go into the group coaching program, or improve your business to go into the group coaching program. You can do a pre-recorded video on it, or if you do the live, you can actually save it and take that video and chop it up into a bunch of different little posts that are like a minute long with different tips and topics and stuff in it. You could also do a text-based post. Maybe you're releasing that service and you have on your sales page 6 benefits listed. Each 6 of those benefits are text-based posts. You can also do images where you either show pictures of yourself and talk about how it can change your business or your life, or you can do images of the product if it's something digital. If it's anything that's a service but you can kind of visually represent it, then do it that way. So this could actually break down into like a month's worth of promo. If you are launching, and don't be afraid to relaunch. If you've got a service and you're like, man, I can create a whole bunch of content for this, let me try to relaunch it. Relaunch it. Use these questions and say, okay, I'm going to plan a 4-week launch. All of my content for the next 30 days on Instagram is going to be centered around the underlying theme of this product. I'm going to do, 3 or 4 lives. I'm going to answer all of these 6 questions. And then for a week long, I'm going to open up the doors and people are going to be able to purchase this product that's service-based. And after that week, that's it. You know what I mean? And then take all of your energy for that launch. Guaranteed it's going to be more successful than it has in the past. Okay, so this is where you can kind of get the breakdown of how this pans out for you as a service provider and how Instagram is really an investment for you. Okay, you getting an email list set up, you getting a lead generation system like the one I'm offering, and I'll put up one more in just a second, but it's all an investment. None of these systems that I have cost more than $100. And there's a reason why. I want you guys to opt into them and to give them a chance, but also to realize that the system really pays for itself. So let's say, like I said, none of them are more than $100. Let's say you want to make $3,000 per month. What is the cost of your lowest service package? I tell people, don't start with your highest one. Just always do your factors. Ooh, there's a fly in here. Always do your factors based off of your lowest package, right? Worst case scenario, everyone buys your lowest package. No one ever even touches your premium, bonus, $1,000 thing, course, whatever it may be. So if the cost of your lowest service package is $197 and you want to make $3,000 per month, and whether it's your main hustle, your side hustle, whatever, that breaks down to 15 clients. Then you can think to yourself, how can I book 15 clients per month? How can I do that? Well, there's a couple different ways. You can host a 4-week group coaching program. So every month you start a new cohort of 15 students. that can produce $3,000. Or maybe you have an ongoing online course and the cost of the course is $197 and your goal is to enroll 15 new students every month. That's one new student every 2 days. That's really doable. Or you can have a one-on-one program that's highly structured. And I say highly structured because if you've got 15 clients, and this is just at the lowest package, if you've got 15 clients, you really want to make sure that it's clear exactly what they're getting when they sign up. You know what I mean? Is that going to be one phone call a week? You need to know that, because you need to know that, and they need to know that, because one phone call a week is actually 15 phone calls if you've got 15 clients. And so that means you've got to call at least 2 people a day. Are you willing to call 2 people a day? Are you willing to be on the phone for 2 hours every day? So think about that if you're going to do the one-on-one program option. But you can also do consultation packages. So they can grab, or they can purchase, 4 consults for $197, and then they can use them however they want. You know what I mean? So you can bunch things together if you'd like. But all of those are very easy, very doable ways to make an extra $3,000 a month, even if this is your side hustle. It would be nice to have an extra $3,000 a month and all I have to do is get on the phone for 2 hours a day. It would be nice to have an extra $3,000 a month and all I have to do is run a group coaching program each month. The same group coaching program over and over again with a minimum of 15 students. You get any more than 15 students, you're making $6,000 a month. You can run a 4-week group coaching program for $197, provide a ton of value, and only have to focus on helping 30 students. That's $6,000 a month. Like, the numbers do not lie. This is why I had to put the math in there. But just keep that in mind. And my last, make it work, y'all. It's all up to you. It's all up to you and how you really want to craft your business. As an entrepreneur, you have the ability to take control of that. And if you're in here and you're a realtor, it's the same thing. If you're in here and you still work for someone else, but you're service-based, you make commissions, all of this still works in your favor. So we can do some Q&A. I'm going to go back to this 6-question slide because I feel like you guys probably need that a little bit more. But I'm open for question and answer. If you do not have a lead generation system, if you don't have an email list and what you need is an email list set up and you need somewhere for people to go, that offer is in the right-hand corner. If you have an email list, but you don't have a freebie for people, if you have an email list and you don't have a freebie for people, you need a lead generation kit. And I'm going to give you guys the link to that. I'm going to put that in here. So I'm going to break down just a little bit while I'm waiting on you guys to ask questions. I'm going to give you just a little breakdown of what that offer includes that you're seeing in the right-hand corner. So that offer off to the side is an email list setup and mini landing page. So what you get with that, right? Your money is in your email list. Email marketing has a higher conversion rate than social media. So by persuading your social followers to visit your website and join your list, you are on your way to effectively converting your followers into customers. So with that email list set up and mini landing page, I set up your email list. I can create up to 4 separate lists if you've got different products going on. I can upload or migrate up to 100 subscribers. So if you have them somewhere else, I can migrate them all to one place. I design a mini landing page for you and send you the link that you can put in your bio that's going to match your brand. And then you also get a set of worksheets that's going to help you write an email sequence to warm up your leads and a technical tutorial on how to upload that welcome sequence to run automatically hands-free 24/7 with a pre-recorded class on how to create freebies that are going to help you attract more clients. That's what you get with the email list set up and mini landing page. That is what you see in the right-hand corner right now. Can I review all 6 items, please? Yes. So these 6 items for Instagram. How will this change your client's business or life? How is the product or service you're going to change that you are offering going to change your client's business or life? How can they take the first step with you? If you're offering a group coaching program, they need to know specifically, okay, if you want to enroll in this program, the first thing you need to do is book a consult with me to see if it's a right fit. The first thing you need to do is apply to see if this is even going to help you. The third thing, will this work for them? So you need to tell people why it's going to work for them. Tell people why they should buy it. You know, sometimes people need to be sold, and as a service-based business, you have to do that. Number 4, how long have you been doing this? So how long have you been providing these types of services? What qualifies you to be able to offer this program and tell people that it's going to make something work for them? Why did you put your services together the way you did? It's just a more in-depth explanation of really behind the scenes of you creating this product. Because like, for example, I have a coaching program right now. That's a group coaching program. It starts on May 21st. And I created a post that said, hey, I put this group coaching program together because I made a lot of mistakes as a service-based business. And I don't want other people to make those same mistakes. And I want other people to be able to maximize their income as soon as they start, because there's someone in this world that needs what you have. And if you're not operating efficiently, you're not going to be able to continue to give that out. And so that's why I created that program. By the way, it's called Digital Dollars. But so I did a post about that. And I have more posts coming up that are scheduled on my auto post to promote that exact same thing. And then also, what's the big picture they need to see? So is your program, you know, going to improve their overall lifestyle? If so, how? What can their life look like after they go through your program or after they work with you one-on-one? What can they expect to feel? How can they expect things to be different? And so you kind of have to like really detail that out for people to let them know the benefits. You already know them, right? Because you created these services. You already know. But sometimes they need the breakdown of that. Okay, let's see. I'm undecided if I want to be the face of my brand or if that's unnecessary. Zillow and Match.com aren't really branded in that way. My service is helping people find a home that's not in the traditional agent capacity. I would say starting out, yes, because people, you don't necessarily have to be the face of your brand, but people need to see your face because they need to know that what you're offering is real. Because it's service-based and it's not something tangible, like you're not actually shipping them something, they're just more likely to build trust with you faster if they can see your face. And yeah, Zillow and Match.com are not branded that way, but the way it works with them is that people don't see the face of Zillow or the face of Match.com, but they see other faces. And because they're seeing other faces, they're still building that trust. So on Zillow, you're seeing faces of agents, and actually it's a little weird with Zillow because a house is a tangible thing. It's not something you can hold, but it's a tangible thing. And so they're seeing the houses, they're seeing that tangible item that they're going to receive in exchange for, you know, their purchase. In Match, they're seeing the faces of their matches before they receive that first date, or before they go on that first date. They're seeing the matches. They're seeing their faces. Like if you got matched with 47 people and none of them had a picture, you'd be like, I don't know about that. It's a little weird. Yes, blogging is an excellent way to attract new clients. Blogging is actually, I very highly recommend blogging. I very highly recommend blogging. Definitely recommend blogging. Because it's more in depth. Like when you're on Instagram, and yeah, when you're on Instagram, you know, they're seeing you, they're getting to know you, but when they're blogging, it's a little more in depth. Instagram, they're only on there for 10, 15 seconds. Blogging, they could be on your website for like 30, 45 minutes reading through your blog post. So it's a lot deeper of a connection. It's a lot deeper actually. So yes, it's also good for organic traffic. If you're a person that doesn't want to pay for ads, if you're like, I'm not paying for no ads, I'm not doing that, you need to be blogging. That's the only way to get traffic without paying for it, is to blog, because the Google search engine favors that blogging. Any tips for going live on Instagram? Be yourself. Be yourself. That sounds so corny, but it's so true. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. People are always like, I don't like live because if you mess up, you can't go backwards and, yada, yada. Be yourself. People like that you're authentic. They like that you're having a conversation with them and you're being real. Like, because there's just so much fakeness in it on Instagram and just in social media in general. There's so much fake going on that it's kind of like, literally, you could get on Instagram live and be a total nerd and be awkward and people love you because that's who you are. And your followers will appreciate that. And if they don't, they'll unfollow you. Who cares? I'd rather have 20 followers that accept me for who I am than have 100 followers that don't like me. That's just how it is. And those 20 followers will probably buy everything you have. And the 100 will just leave nasty comments under your photos. How did I identify my ideal client? Mine was trial and error. Like, I knew kind of who I wanted to work with originally, and then I realized that I was attracting a different type. So I originally wanted to work with people that were already really, really mid-sized to large businesses that were established, that just needed content to kind of fill up space literally on their website page and to be relieved of having to post on Instagram. Then I realized that I was attracting newer business owners. And as I started to work with people, I was like, well, I like this. I like working with newer business owners. I like hearing, their ideas, and I like how excited they are, and they haven't been told no a million times. And so they're still, very excited to be entrepreneurs, and they're open to learning, and they have those aha moments 50 times a day, which is amazing. So I actually kind of fell into my ideal client. And now I'm moving more towards it. So now I'm moving more towards the service based, which is really where I've just found my calling, per se. Do I offer coaching? I don't currently offer one-on-one coaching because I'm about to start my group coaching program. So my group coaching program is called Digital Dollars. It is starting on May 20th, but the enrollment is open right now. There is the link for it. There's a link for it. So I don't currently do one-on-one coaching. I do have one-on-one consults, but I don't have a full-on one-on-one coaching program yet, but I'm working on releasing that soon. You kind of just have to know your stuff. If you were having a conversation about whatever it is that you do, just let me know what you do. But if you were having a conversation with someone about what you do and they asked you a question, you'd be able to answer it. And it's the same thing on Instagram Live. You're just having a conversation. So you may be creating in your head this thing that, oh my gosh, I'm on Instagram Live, the entire world is watching me. But it's really not that. It's really not that deep. You know what I mean? You're literally having a conversation. Just answer the question. Answer the questions like normal. All right, I'm going to go back big since we're doing question and answer here. Yeah, it's really not. It's not as scary as people say it is. I don't think so, at least. But you guys see my face all the time, so that's part of it as well. How did I set my initial marketing budget? Initially I didn't have one. That's so bad. Initially I actually did not have a budget. I had to kind of learn. So what I did was I took I took $5 and I put it on a couple of different posts and tried out some new things. But people say that your marketing budget should be a third of what you make in profit. So if you spent $50, let's say you spent $50 running your business this month and you made 100, your profit is $50 and 30% of that should be your marketing budget. So what, $17? That's how much you should put in your ads. And $17 actually goes a really long way on Instagram ads, by the way. I did a $20 video ad a couple weeks ago on Instagram, and it got like 3,000 or 4,000 views. So it goes a long way. But that's how I set my initial budget. If you're just starting, then and you haven't made any money, then you need to wait before you start putting money into marketing. So what you should be focusing on is blog posts, because blog posts are going to get you organic traffic. And so you need to be posting at least one blog per week. If you are trying to like make money like now and get traffic now, you need to be posting 2 or 3 blog posts a week. I know somebody who literally posts like 10 blog posts a week, but the organic traffic is amazing, and that person almost never has to pay for paid ads, and they make a lot of money just by posting a bunch of blog posts, because people are reading that information and coming from the search engine of them being, you know, one of the first 3 pages when somebody searches for something that they offer. So if you're just starting out and you haven't made any yet, I would say try blogging before you spend the money. Yeah. That's my recommendation. Do I have any other questions before I hop off of here? By the way, guys, if you, hold on one second. By the way, if you, I just lost my whole train of thought because I opened up Instagram and saw a notification. This is so bad. Oh, here we go. If you purchase the email system, the email setup in the landing page that's over in the offer section there, you will also get the free, well, it's not free, but you'll get the replay of this webinar. You will get the replay of this webinar with your purchase. But yes, you can go ahead and click that Get Me Set Up button, and you will receive the email to start getting set up. There's only 20 of those, by the way, because that's a service. So I have to actually custom design all of those landing pages. I can make it say whatever you want it to say. I can add your logo. I can make it match your colors, all of that type of stuff. If you want something more customizable, and I had to pause because I switched my tabs there. But you'll get the replay of this with that. If you just want the replay by itself, it's going to go up for sale tomorrow on the webinars tab of my website. If you're looking for the email list setup and mini landing page, it also includes a freebie. So if you want me to create and design a freebie and a freebie for you that matches your Instagram page, then that's the link you're looking for. That includes the freebie. So I'll send you the PDF. I'll set up your email list. I set up the landing page, and then I also connect everything to be delivered automatically. So literally, it takes 3 to 4 business days for me to create. I send you the link to put in your bio, and when people put the link, click the link in your bio, they put their email in, they get the freebie delivered automatically, and your email list grows. All you have to do is promote it. That's it. I can set up for the lead generation. I only do it in MailChimp. I don't do it in ConvertKit. I will do sales funnels in ConvertKit. I will create a welcome email sequence in ConvertKit. But for the setup and the lead generation, I don't do it in ConvertKit because it costs you money. So the whole idea behind the email lead generation And the email kit is that you don't have to pay for the service. It's free up to your first 2,000 subscribers. And so it costs you nothing to start generating and learning how to generate those leads. And then once you're ready, if you want to move over to ConvertKit, you can. But I also don't do those in ConvertKit because the templates are not as pretty, so it doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing ConvertKit. And the landing page I set up through MailChimp as well. If you want a landing page on Squarespace, that's a different service. So just send me an email at thespoiledwriter@gmail.com because it's a completely different setup on the technical side. You can still have a Squarespace website and get this email list set up. You can still have a ConvertKit and get the email list set up. You'll just need to, in your bio, you'll need to have a link tree. So you'll need to have one link where it leads to them grabbing your freebie, and then another link where they can enter your website. Like how mine is set up, it'll be like that. The service with the freebie included is the link I just dropped, and I'll drop it one more time. That's the link with the service included. All right. Does anyone have any more questions? I'm about to hop off of here, but feel free to send me an email. Any purchases you make tonight, before midnight, you'll get the replay of this webinar included for free as a bonus. All right, guys, see you later. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be releasing a couple more free classes for this month. If you have not already, visit my Instagram stories on Instagram and vote for what classes you want to see for free. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye, guys.